AITA for telling my mom's boyfriend his kids will never be family. Roughly more than a year ago, my mother introduced me to her boyfriend. Since then, me and my 3 siblings have been introduced to his 3 kids and our families have been merged. Though we still live in separate homes, his family is over our house all the time, but it's very obvious he is purposely leaving me and my other older sibling out of the family plans. Last year during Thanksgiving, I was informed 3 days before that all of his kids, including his adult child and my 2 younger siblings along with my mother, were going to meet our grandparents 6 states over. Me and my older sibling were whiplashed as we didn't have enough time to pull together funds or time off to join them. We brought this up to our mom and she simply said she guesses we can join them next time, and she thought we knew. That left me and my sibling alone for a week during Thanksgiving, in which we each just ended up going to a family member's house, who we don't see often. We were both very hurt by this incident, and brought to each other's attention how many family trips they have had, whether it's a weekend thing or not, without inviting us or telling us until the day of. We've kept our mouths shut until now, but since Christmas is coming around, we were getting nervous they were going to do the same thing. Thankfully they didn't, but we were told to be sure to get his kids gifts, as they are now our siblings. Having to get gifts for 3 people who we aren't even close to really sucked, but my sibling and I begrudgingly did so. I don't remember how it got brought up today, but I found out his kids weren't getting any of my siblings' gifts, not even the adult, despite them all having jobs. This really pissed me off and I ended up lashing out on both of them, specifically my mother's boyfriend. I told him that I don't care about him or his kids, but if he wants to play family, he's not playing the father act well at all. He retorted with he doesn't need to share his life with adult kids, and to him we're just our mom's past. I'll admit I got nasty after this, telling him his kids are baggage enough and my mother doesn't need any more kids, and I'll never look at his spoiled rotten brats as family. This seemed to really hurt my mom when she started crying. Her boyfriend screamed at me to leave, so I did. I'm staying at a friend's right now, but I'm wondering if I went too far. I don't give a fuck if I was the asshole to the boyfriend. I already know that part. But was I an asshole to my mom in this way too? I just don't want her to forget that she has 2 kids who still see her as their mother, and she can't just forget they exist because her boyfriend won't acknowledge us. Edit. I'm 20 and the older sibling is 17. I only said older because they are older than my 2 younger siblings who are under the ages of 10. I pay half the rent and half the household expenses in the house with my mother, and without me we wouldn't be housed. I think everyone knows how expensive it is to live on your own right now, let alone with 3 kids excluding myself. I will be going back home, and understand he can't kick me out of a place my name's on the lease on, but I am trying to cool myself down. Did this update to clear some things up for people. Update. I came home pretty early this morning to have a talk with her mom when her boyfriend left. I took a lot of your advice and told her how leaving me and my sibling out is not blending the family in any manner, and how I feel like my own home is being invaded despite my contributing significantly. According to my mom, her boyfriend didn't end up spending the night due to them having their own fight. My mother made it very clear that she was pretty ignorant to everything we felt, whether it was on purpose or not, but she started crying last night, not only from what I said, but everything her boyfriend had said as well. A big part of their talk after I left was discussing me and my sibling. She didn't tell me everything they said, but they will be taking time away from each other for a little while, as my mom agreed that at some point he can't just leave me and my siblings out. But she also feels I was rejecting him and his kids early on along with my siblings, and it's why she didn't invite us to a lot of things, because she didn't want to put us in uncomfortable situations. This led to me bringing up the fact that I pay half the rent, and I would prefer for now on they go over his house in the future, and how I need to see respect from him and his kids and not treat me like a ghost in a house I contribute towards. She understood and said that she herself won't be seeing him for a while. This then ended with her sobbing again that at some point I will be getting married and the kids need a father. Our dad died roughly 6 years ago due to terminal illness. At this point my parents were already separated, but since then my mom has really only had flings, nothing serious. And the older I get, the more she fears I'll leave her in the dust and she will have no one to help her with my siblings or the future. I know a lot of people said this, but I thought maybe you guys were just assuming, but I guess she was feeling like she needed to secure herself, Similarly, his kid's mom has been dead a little less than 4 years for a similar reason, though I don't know all the details. My mother said multiple times that she can't expect me to live with her forever and take care of her at the drop of the dime, and how she has been wanting a full-time companion for a long time for stability, but also for companionship. By this point she had to leave for work and we decided to put a pin in the conversation. I don't think I'll be updating much further than this. I thank everyone for the advice and the consideration they gave to my post. I still feel like an AH, but I do feel a little less shitty setting the boundaries I did, considering over half of you said I should have done it sooner. Thank you. I appreciate it.